Hey guys, what's up? It's Fern. Welcome back to another planty video. I hope that you're all doing well. Today we are going to be talking about my Ikea greenhouse cabinet. I have had this baby set up it's been set up and running for a couple of months now. So I feel like I have a pretty good idea about how I feel about it. Is everything holding up? How are the plants doing? Has any of the care changed? Stuff like that. So I'm going to first give you a little tour, a little updated tour of the cabinet and point out any exciting things that are going on in there. And then we are going to kind of talk about my thoughts. Okay, random side note, but look at this leaf coming out on my Monstera. Oh my gosh, this is on my big Monstera. I'm so excited. Okay, back to the cabinet. So let's open her up. Okay, so first I am just going to give you a little tour. So we'll start at the top here. My variegated Hoya compacta has been in here since I first had the cabinet up and running. It did put out a new leaf right when I moved it into here, but it's been just, you know, not doing much since then, which is normal for that plant. It's an extremely slow grower, so that's fine. This Hoya Bella cutting I actually recently put in here, and if you look, you guys, it has a little peduncle. Let's see if I can focus on that. It is so cute. Oh my goodness, it's gonna bloom. Yes, so that guy is really happy. It's only been in here for a couple of weeks, but it's doing really well. Same with this Hoya linearis. This is a cutting that I just put in here a couple weeks ago as well. These are both plants that I believe I potted up in my last prop circle video. And then, yes, my wonderful Monstera dubia, which is now shingling up the pegboard in the back there. It actually, those two leaves were attached and it's actually come unattached. I don't know if you can tell on the video, but I'm not really sure why it's like let go, but this one at the top is definitely attached onto there, and then it's putting out new growth as well. So I'm just so obsessed with this. This is the biggest leaf that it's given me yet also. So yes, I am actually going to be moving this cabinet soon, so I'm going to be taking it apart. So I'm gonna have to like take him off anyways. So yeah, but right now he's just chilling on there still, which is awesome. I have a variegated Maranta cutting just up here, probably too close to the light, but it's fine for now. And then beside that I have, is this variegated or regular? Variegated string of heart cuttings that are just chilling there. And then I have a begonia that just lives here for now. I keep my hygrometer here. The doors are open right now, so it's a little bit lower of humidity. It usually sits at about 80 to 90%. And then my Hoya Matilde over here, you guys, this plant has been loving it in here. I've had it in here for maybe a month, and it's already just shot off so much new growth. It's given me 2 peduncles, which is so cool, and it's just like so happy. It actually shot off this whole other vine back there as well, so I love that. And then down here on the glass shelf, we have my Cebu Blue, which is super happy in here as well. I actually have it on this moss pole, and it has started rooting in to the moss, which is so cool, and it's just giving me these beautiful leaves. It's growing so fast inside here. All of my Cebu Blue in here are actually growing so fast. I have some on the bottom as well, but I'm just obsessed. This is one of my favorite plants, you guys, so it's just so nice to see it absolutely thriving in here. And then we have a couple of my Alocasia. I know you guys have seen my Alocasia dragon scale before because I couldn't stop talking about it for a while there when it gave me this new leaf. So this was the last new leaf it gave me before I moved it into the cabinet, and then this is the new leaf that it gave me after it had been living in the cabinet. So it is obviously much happier inside the cabinet here, and I am just like so thrilled about that. And then over here we have my Alocasia Frydek, which is a bit of a troublemaker. If you guys have heard me talking about this, you know, the past like few months, this plant is just really hard for me to keep happy. I'm not really sure why. Both of these leaves started drooping. One of them was drooping and then both of them were drooping, so I was a little bit concerned about the roots. So I actually took it out and took a look at the roots and they were fine. They're not rotting or anything, and it's actually put out this new little growth point here. So because of that, I think it's okay. I'm not really sure what's with the drooping, but I don't know. It's growing a baby, so I'm just rolling with it and monitoring. And then beside it is my Calathea orbifolia, which is definitely one of my pickiest plants that I've kind of struggled with the most. I've recently started watering it with distilled water because I thought it was having a humidity issue, but it's not gotten any better since living in the cabinet, so I think it must be like a watering issue. I'm not too sure. I hope it, you know, does better soon, but yeah, he's not doing the best. And then behind that is my Scindapsus Silver Splash, I believe. And this plant absolutely loves being in the cabinet. It's given me a huge leaf, which is right down there. And then it's also, this is its most recent leaf. And look at how silver this is, you guys. Let me focus. Look at that. It's like almost entirely silver. It's so pretty. I thought that something was like wrong with this leaf when it was coming out, but it's just got so much silver that it looked really light. It looks like this other newest one is like entirely silver almost too. It's just so cool. I love that. And then the last plant on this upper shelf is my Philodendron Gloriosum, which is one of my absolute favorite plants. This is its newest leaf. I'm sure you've seen it before as well, but it has just taken off since being inside the cabinet. It's given me 2 new leaves and they just keep getting bigger. So yeah, it's just loving life. So I am loving life. Okay, we're gonna move down to the second level. So at the very top, I just have some string of heart that this is propagation that I just potted up recently as well. So it's just hanging out, getting lots of light on the top there. And then right here, we have my Calathea White Star, which is, this is honestly a really tricky plant for me as well. What are all these spots on it? Huh. Yeah, this is a very tricky plant for me. Kind of the same thing. I thought it was having a humidity issue, which it might have been because I think it's doing better now that it's in the cabinet, but it's still not doing like fantastic. I mean, maybe this is the newest leaf and that looks really nice. So maybe it's getting happier. It's actually giving me new growth in there as well. So I think it's okay. It just keeps getting, like, it gave me this leaf, which completely crisped. So maybe this is one that I should try giving distilled water as well. I just love this Calathea. It's so pretty. I love Calathea and they do not always love me, so you know, it's a bit of a struggle, but ooh, look at the pink on that one. Gosh, it's just so pretty. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, like I said, it's been 2 months, so it's been long enough to like get an idea, but I'm not really gonna know for probably a couple more months whether how these plants are gonna do in here. So we'll see. We'll see once he gives me a few more leaves what happens. Okay, next in this drawer here, I have something very, very exciting. Now, I have showed this before, but I need to give you guys an update. So this is my Monstera Peru wet stick, and do you see that, you guys? Yes, that growth point is taking off and turning into a leaf. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. I 100% thought that this plant was a goner, 100%. But would you look at that? Oh, it just makes me so happy. And you can see below it, there's another growth point as well. So yeah, it has really good roots in here. You can see it's a root right there, one of them. And yeah, it's just been doing so well. So when I had put it in here as a wet stick, I was keeping the drawer closed. So it kept the humidity even higher in there. And then once I started seeing those growth points, actually once it's rooted up, I opened the drawer so that that growth point could get some light. I'm not sure if that's what's made like the difference for it to start taking off, but it's taking off. So I'm just so excited about it. I can't believe it. I was gonna compost it, you guys. Like, it's like the tiniest little wet stick. It rotted on me like 5 times. So here we are again. She has risen. Okay, and then I guess we will go over here. You guys already know this lady right here, my beautiful Monstera Thai constellation, who is loving life in the cabinet and life in the leca. She is doing so well. I can actually see that she has a bump here. If you can see right there, she is going to be pushing out a new leaf sometime soon again, and I just like, oh, I'm just so happy this plant is finally thriving, and I'm just like, everything about her is perfect. I love this variegation. She's so beautiful, and I'm so glad she's doing better. If you haven't been here along her journey, she has rooted on me twice, which is why I switched her to leca, and ever since then she has been doing well. So yeah, and even more so in the cabinet. And then let's talk about these two at the front here. I have 2 Cebu Blue, and oh my gosh, yeah, these are just growing like crazy. Like crazy, you guys. Like, oh my goodness. Every time I look, there's a new leaf, I swear. They're just getting so large. They're so beautiful. I love these plants so stinking much. So yeah, they love being in this cabinet. They love it. And then in the back here, I have shown this plant a lot recently as well. It is my Syngonium albo, and it has multiple half moon leaves that it has put out in the cabinet. You can see another one back there. And then it also has given me these 2 greener leaves most recently, and they are so large. Like, this plant has, where's like the smallest leaf? There's a really small one under there, so that was pre-cabinet, and then these are post being in the cabinet, and the size difference is just incredible, and it's just so much healthier and happier in here. So yeah, it's just loving it. And then right beside that one is my Hoya obovata, which is one of my favorite Hoya, and it is doing so well in the cabinet. And these, okay, so these are the leaves from when I first was sent this Hoya, and then it hadn't done anything, and then I moved it into the cabinet and it put out these 2 leaves. So it must love the humidity in here, and it also has this beautiful splashing on the leaves, which the other ones, they like don't have a lot of. So oh, they're just so nice, and yeah, it's just happy. So, and you can see new growth is continuing there, so it's doing really well. I think that Hoyas really love this cabinet, especially. And then, you guys, this is my Philodendron Gloriosum, my other one, which is so beautiful. This came to me as a cutting in September and put out this leaf once I moved it to the cabinet. And it's still in sphagnum, and it is currently working on another new leaf, if you can see, which is just so exciting. I have been just keeping my eye on this like every single day, because Philodendron Gloriosum is one of my favorite plants ever, you guys. They're so beautiful, and I'm just so excited that this one is growing. I'm going to move it to, I was thinking about trying it in Pawn, but my Lechuza order is literally taking forever. Like, I don't know when it's going to arrive. It's been like processing for weeks now, so maybe I will just end up putting this in potting mix. I'm not really sure, but either way, it's doing really well, and you know what, it wouldn't hurt it to leave it in this sphagnum a little bit longer anyways. So I've just been enjoying her in here for now. And that is it. That is all the plants that I currently have in here. Like I said, I am moving, so I haven't been adding any more in. So I'll have to show you the new setup once I'm in my new place. But this is what we've got going on right now. Everybody is super happy in here. Oh, I should mention to you, there is a couple of plants that I did struggle with in the cabinet, and they were both Anthurium. So I don't know, actually no, there's 3 plants. 2 of them were Anthurium, and 1 of them was my Monstera albo. I'm not sure why it was just not loving it in here. It could just be like a one-off, because my Thai constellation loves it in here. So I'm not sure, or maybe because it's a lot taller, so maybe it was too close to the light. I'm not really sure, but it was just like not looking great, so I ended up taking it out of the cabinet, and I'm glad I did because my Anthurium clarinervium and my Anthurium viridifolium were both not looking well also. So I took them out of the cabinet and they were both rotting, so I'm not sure if I was just overwatering them with the humidity being higher and that created rot. So it could have been that, but yeah, they're both currently recuperating outside of the cabinet, rerooting in perlite. But those are 3 plants that I did remove from the cabinet because they weren't doing well. So as for the setup of the cabinet, a couple of things that I will mention. So I want to talk about the weather stripping first. So this is just like regular stick-on weather stripping. I'm sure it was linked in my old video. I've seen a lot of people use this stuff for sealing off the cabinet. And I will say that it's really awesome for some places, but it totally will like fall off of other places. So on the inside of where the door closes, that part has stayed really well, and it kind of like folds in when the door closes, so I haven't had any issues there. It works awesome. However, at the top, I have the top sealed, and this always comes off. Like it will completely fall off, so every time I close the cabinet, I have to push it and like bend this in so that it's not gonna get all like wonky and peel off. So that's like a little bit annoying, but honestly it's fine. It's not a big deal, and it does keep the humidity high in the cabinet. Like I said, it can be like 90 degrees or even 90% or even higher, so it works really well. It's just like a bit of a pain in the butt, and it has fallen off like on this part of the door as well, so you just have to like keep your eye on it and just kind of be like willing to like bend, like work with it to make sure the door closes properly. But yeah, I don't really know what a better option would be. Like I feel like this is, you know, a pretty good option for what the job is, I guess. Oh, something else I will say is just like regarding the accessories. I honestly don't know if I will ever use all of them, like have all of the shelves full and have all of the drawers full. Like I think I went a little bit overboard with them. I might even take out some of them when I move, we'll see. And I might want like lower these a little bit because they're so close to the lights, so there's some things that I might just like want to mitigate. But I really like bought well, first of all, there's not an Ikea where I live, so I had to have everything shipped, so I didn't want to have to order again, so I just ordered like more than I needed, I guess. But I don't think you need this. Like I have 4 of the shelves and then 6 of the drawers and like 8 of the clips, and it's a lot. So I think you could get away with like half the amount that I have. And then let's talk about the light situation. So a lot of you have seen that my lights did not stick onto the glass. So I was using like that heavy duty double-sided tape that you can buy at the hardware store. I was using that to stick my lights onto the glass. This is the lower part. And within a day it had fallen down. It was laying on top of my plants, and I was like, oh shoot. So I like restuck it and it still didn't stick. And then somebody told me to, actually multiple people told me to use command strips. So I put command strips on there. You can see, and I stuck that on, and it was kind of the same thing. I think that was even like less than a day. It had fallen down onto my plants. So I was like, okay, I feel like because of the humidity, it's just not gonna stick to glass. Like that's not like a really easily adherable, I'm inventing words. It's not really like a great place for anything to stick. So I was tired of having it fall down, and I ended up just using this twine. I put it, like it's literally just tied around the shelf to hold the light up. And I've been meaning to try out magnets. I've had a lot of people suggest that, so I think that magnets are gonna be the next thing that I try. But honestly, like the past couple months, I just haven't worried about it. I'm like, it hasn't bothered me to be hanging up with the twine. So I don't know, some people probably will hate that, but for me it's just been chilling, and then I can experiment with the next thing, which will probably be magnets. So that one, it would not stick, but the top one has stuck perfectly. Oh, this is like looking really dark. Okay, maybe I can't really show you, but this light on the top level, it's adhering to metal and it has stuck perfectly. Like, it is on there. It has not fallen down or like come loose at all. So the double-sided tape that I used in my setup video, that works really well for the top, but not for the bottom because they're different surfaces. It makes sense, right? Okay, and then the last thing about the setup that I really want to touch on is my pegboard. So I get so many questions, you guys, about how my pegboard is screwed into here, and I honestly like can't answer that super well because I'm not the person that did it. My friend Caleb did this for me. I asked him and he told me that these are carriage bolts and there is a wing nut. Is that what this is? Yeah, a wing nut on the back. And it's actually drilled right through this metal part in the middle of the cabinet. And then to keep this pegboard lifted off the back of the glass, because you need some space between the back of the glass and the pegboard to fit like the hooks. Things are hooking in there, so you can't have it pressed against the glass, and you don't want that because it might, like, I don't know, with the humidity something might happen. But in order to have it lifted off a little bit, he actually screwed in some of the extra brackets. These are just, here, let me show you from the inside. These are, let me show you this one. So these little brackets can just be screwed on, and that's what is behind this. So there's some space. And then this is drilled through. I'm not really sure if that makes sense or if that is helpful to anyone, but I get asked that question a lot. Oh yeah, that's something else. I've been loving these fans. Like, they have been working great. I have absolutely no complaints, and I think that they are just like the perfect amount on the lowest setting here. They just like gently kind of blow. Oh yeah, and then one more thing I wanted to touch on regarding the setup. I'm so sorry if this is getting long and boring, but I'm just trying to answer like frequently asked questions. Something that I ran into was that this light at the top, the cord was too short to be ran down through the hole down there. Like, it like just came down to here, but I couldn't feed it through. So because of that, I actually had to, for the top one, just run it through the top, out the top of the door. Like, that's where the door closes. So the wire is just running across the top like that, and then it just comes behind, and then I just plug it in to a little plug-in thing there. This is a hot mess back here, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think regarding the setup, that answers like most of the frequently asked questions that I get. So I guess now I will talk a little bit about what my thoughts are having the cabinet. Was it worth it? This cabinet is quite an investment. I think it cost me around $800 Canadian. By the time I, you know, purchased the cabinet and all the accessories, paid for the shipping, the fans, the, you know, everything that's inside of it, it was at least $800, I believe. So it is quite a pricey little project, but do I think it's worth it? Yes, I do. I love this cabinet so much. It makes me so happy just to have it as like a focal piece in my living room. I love that it's so beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, but also functional. Like, my plants in there are loving the humidity, loving the lighting. They're all doing well for the most part, except for the ones that didn't do well, which who knows why that happened. But for the most part, they are all doing so well, and I am just absolutely thrilled about it. I already want another one. So if you have been on the fence about it and you have the funds and the ability to get one for yourself, I would definitely do it. I think that it is such an awesome planty project, and it's been so fun for me. As for the care of the plants inside the cabinet, any differences I've noticed, I did want to just touch on that quickly. So for some reason, I thought that since the humidity was going to be so high that these plants would need to be watered like barely ever. But that is not true. I water these plants probably almost as frequently as I water my plants outside of a cabinet. Probably a little bit less, but not nearly as like little as I was expecting. I think that might be because there's the fans running in there as well, but the care is honestly pretty much the same. You guys know that I did have a weird experience with some sort of pest or mites inside the cabinet about a month ago probably, and my update on that is that it has resolved. There's no more of those mites, at least not that I've noticed, crawling in the cabinet, and I don't think that they are spider mites. I think that I have concluded that they are soil mites just based on what other people have said and based on just what was going on. Like there's no damage or anything like that. I don't think it's impossible to get spider mites inside the cabinet, but I think that those were soil mites. It just makes more sense because it's so moist in there, and I actually have a suspicion that they came from the moss that my Cebu Blue is on, because that was like crappy, some like crappy moss that I got, some like cheap moss from Amazon, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just like sus from the beginning, so I feel like they could have come from that. But they are pretty much gone now, and all the plants are doing well, so happy ending to that tale. So that is going to be it for this video. If you have any other questions regarding the cabinet or anything I've discussed in this video, please leave a comment down below and I will do my best to answer you there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more planty content. I do have a Patreon if you're interested in bonus content as well as merch. Everything will be down below in the description box. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!